Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Boomer Bust Podcast. I'm your host, Shoot to Rock. I'm here with my boy Matt. How we doing today, Matt?
Good, man. Good. We got a little special guest on our hands.
Yes,
I'm
we
happy about
do.
that.
Yes, we do. So, everyone, this is our coworker Jeff, biggest Patrick Mahomes
What's
in
up?
Kentucky basketball ball knower you will ever meet. Jeff, how we doing today, my guy?
Having a wonderful night. How about you boys?
Good, man. It's my birthday week, dude.
Glad to
There's
be
nothing
here.
better. There's
Oh,
nothing
Yeah,
better
hey.
than a birthday week, you know? It's already a Monday night, and Matt's drinking a little bit.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
setting the tone for the rest of the birthday week.
If you're under 21,
Nothing
we do
better.
not advise drinking on this podcast.
No, just listening and maybe dropping a like and comment.
Yeah, comment down below. Happy birthday, Matt. So,
Thank
but
you.
yeah, and drop a like and subscribe and ring the bell. Let's get into it here, boys. We had the one of the probably craziest second weekends of the March Madness tournament ever. We have 4 teams left now in San Diego State, Florida Atlantic, Miami, and the one blue blood, UConn. We're gonna start in the South region where both me and Matt's, at least we had them in the national title game.
Yeah.
Alabama Crimson Tide fell off. Matt, what was your big takeaway from the South region this weekend?
It was Alabama and the absence of Brandon Miller to a T. He got absolutely locked down. He shot a horrible percentage from the field. As a star player in a big moment in a big game like that in the Sweet 16, you cannot shrink. I think that does define his draft value a little bit, in my opinion, maybe more than it does to others, which is fair. But you can't perform like that in a crucial Sweet 16 game. So I was shocked by San Diego State. I've known they were a great defense from the moment that they got a bit into the tournament. Top 5 defense, top 7 defense in the country. But to take down Alabama in the fashion they did was just surprising, and I think the blame has to be a majority on Brandon Miller. So it might be a little shocking, but that was the one game in that South region that definitely stuck out to me for sure.
What about you, Jeff? What was your big takeaway from the South region? Was it that Alabama losing? Was it, Creighton pretty solid win against Princeton? What was it for you?
Yeah. Definitely San Diego State. Creighton over Princeton was, I guess, expected,
Yeah.
even though Princeton had a couple good wins already. But yeah, I was glad to see Bama go down. I think
Yeah.
justice was served. Justice was served, as some would say, Brandon Miller. But I don't know. I didn't think Jelly JQ played that well.
No.
Who was it? Clowney played 10 minutes and
Yeah.
fouled out.
Yep.
Bad performance all around. And Nate Oates. Everyone loves Nate Oates. Never been past Sweet 16. So you know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give San Diego State credit. They definitely play this very muck-it-up
Yeah.
style, defensively physical game, and they took Alabama into the mud. Brandon Miller, him and his shooters didn't shoot too hot Friday night, and that ended up being their demise. So, and same thing again on Sunday yesterday with that win over Creighton. Kind of sloppy game, like close back and forth game, but I mean not the best brand of basketball. But Mountain West finally. We talked about it a little bit the first show. The team, a conference that they were eliminated in 10 hours last year. Now they have a team in the Final Four. Makes up a little bit for 2020 when San Diego State was going to be a 1 seed. So, yeah, any final thoughts on San Diego State, Creighton? What did you guys think about that foul call at the end? I'll start with you, Matt.
It was a foul. It's just this is the problem with this new modern day age of sports is everything can be broken down to the instant second millisecond of anything. So that I do think to a degree ruins sports, but I do think it was a foul. It just in the crunch time that it came in, I don't think all the viewers wanted to see that in a sense. So I would have called it though.
What about
I
you,
would have
Jeff?
called it if I'm out there.
Yeah, I even as someone who was had Creighton and was rooting for them, Nemhard put his hand on his hip, on the floater, and I don't know. It's tough to end the game like that, but
Yeah.
I didn't think it was like a horrendous call or anything.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I mean, if it's a foul in whatever minute of the game, it's got to be a foul in the last minute. Obviously, like I said, close game back and forth. Sucks to see it end that way, but I mean, I think it was the right call overall. So, and it kind of gives Creighton fans a thing to hang their hat on. They'd be like, oh, if that foul is get called, we would have went on and won it all. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the Eagles in the Super Bowl. That play they get called for the holding, and people are like bitching like, oh, you can't call it then. Well, if it's a penalty, it's a foul. Any other point in the game, you got to call it at the end. So,
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll move on to the other part of this bracket, the East region at Madison Square Garden. I'm going to do a victory lap here. The Owlman. I called FAU. FAU last Wednesday. I said, you know what? Why not? I'm going to go all in on them. Sure enough, there we go. I'm going to be honest. I didn't bet on them until the championship, that regional final, but turned $10 into 20. So I was pretty happy. It paid for my Saturday night.
We'll take it.
Yes. What do you got? What are your guys' big takeaway from that region?
If we're starting with me, I'm gonna start with that Tennessee FAU game. Tennessee just came out flat. Their Santiago Vescopi, in my eyes, he just underperformed. Every time he touched that ball in the top of the key, he just looked scared. He looked like he wanted to get it out of his hands as quickly as possible. And he's that main focus of that offense. He's at least that floor general. And in a game like this, when you're playing a team that's maybe just a lights-out shooting team like FAU is, you have to control the pace of the game. And Santiago Vescopi did not do that in my eyes. I believe he also had like 3 turnovers, if I'm not mistaken. And you can't have that with your primary ball handler. So that game definitely caught my eyes. But, God, great call, Derek. Great call on FAU, man. You called that. I got to give you props because I did not know in a million years I would have taken Tennessee again. But
I appreciate it.
Only Rick Barnes could knock out Duke and lose to FAU 4 days later. So
there you go.
5 days later. Whatever.
Yeah, is that your big takeaway for you as well, Jeff? Or what about, that Michigan State Kansas State game?
Insane.
Yeah, game of the tournament.
Was crazy. The no look lob to Keontae. That was nasty.
What do you guys think with that? Do you guys think it was scripted or no?
I don't think so. It's hard to say, though. I feel like they're going to go up there and they're going to say it wasn't scripted, but it could have damn well been scripted. So I don't know how to argue that necessarily, but it was a great play. It got that defense completely lackluster looking over at that coach. So, but what do you think, Derek? You think that was scripted?
Oh, yeah. Had to have been. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Plus, just the way the cameras... He also, a thing I saw, he turns, dribbling up the court, turns to Isaiah Thomas sitting front row. Watch this. Proceeds to start me and Tang, they don't know what's going on. I saw backdoor cut. And they've done that play multiple times. Not the arguing part, but against Kansas, the game of Kansas at home.
That backdoor cut.
Backdoor cut for a lob. So that's a play they kind of know, draw a little hesitation out there. But sorry, Jeff, I cut you off. Any other big takeaways from that game?
Yeah, again, I don't want to say too many nice things about Kansas State because it knocked out Kentucky, but Noel had an insane tournament.
Yeah,
it's cool to see the New York kid at MSG to just keep what he had going. And Izzo, Izzo's really got the Big Ten on his back right now because the rest of the conference just consistently lets you down in the tournament. So that was a good game, though. It was a really good game.
I want to actually touch on that. Someone I feel bad for is Tyson Walker, man. I don't know what it is about his game. I'm just very attracted to the way he plays basketball. It's a fun brand of basketball to watch. Not sus, Jeff. I felt bad for him when he got that turnover at the end and that strip by Noel. I was very sad to just see him hit the floor and lay down because I knew that game meant a lot to him. He's trying to get there, but him and Izzo, they've been great all year. But it's sad to see Michigan State go. But in the fashion that game went, I would have taken it either way. We almost got a 200-point game right there. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Marquise Noel is going to go down as kind of like a Jimmer, like a Steph Curry, like a guy who led his team on this run and just had outstanding, unbelievable. Set a tournament record for assists.
Yeah.
And
what do you have in this game? 20 and 19?
Yeah.
20 and 19. That's a crazy stat line. That's crazy.
So,
me at the local rec center. Maybe.
I went to one of your men's league games. That is not you, my guy.
Whoa!
You are not putting that up. You are not putting that up.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
But yeah, so I honestly think granted, it might get died down a little bit here since they did lose the Cinderella and FAU. But all time, one of those ones when guys are just sitting around naming dudes. He's gonna be up there for sure, all time. So yeah, let's go on to that. That championship game was great though between FAU and Kansas State. What do you guys have any big takeaways from that?
I can't really touch much on it. Sadly, I was not able to catch the first 30 minutes of this game. I caught the last 10, which was great. Obviously, it's better to catch the end of the game than the beginning, but I missed a lot of this game, so I don't want to speak too much on it. But Kansas State there were a couple times at the end of the game they just had some bad shot selections. That's really all I can say about this game. No, I don't know enough.
They got away with it versus Michigan State too. Like they're like as good as Noel played, he had a
Yeah.
couple shots to like try and ice that game
Yes.
where he just shot it from like dang
28,
range.
yeah, 28, 30
Yeah.
type stuff.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I mean, to not get a shot off at the end there is definitely a very tough
Yeah.
look for Kansas State.
I mean, and you're like you might as well let Noel take it at that point.
All right, and then one final thing on FAU. Are they like the most unlikable Cinderella? Because there was video of them after the game. I don't know if this bugs you guys. Personally, I didn't really think that much of it. But they, it was a whole big thing. Kansas State, the like to the Lil Baby song and like doing the clap thing like pregame.
Yep.
FAU to celebrate was doing that afterwards. Like, do we think that's a troll? You think they're just like doing it? Like, what's our thoughts on FAU here?
I stated this last week on Wednesday or Thursday when we recorded the pod. I do think they are more of that devil's advocate role in like this March Madness tournament. The fingers kind of just were pointed their way after I forgot his name, but he attempted that dunk after they were up like 8 or 9. So I think that a little bit to some degree hurt some people, and then with the little baby clap at the end, I think that's more of a troll. I think they were kind of just trying to like mess with the media and get people having mentions towards them, which is good though, because any recognition towards a smaller program like that is good recognition, especially if you're made it to the Final Four. So I do think to a degree people want to see them as the bad boys in this tournament, but I think they're just doing it because, hey, they're making a run, dude. I'd be doing the same thing if that was me. So it's a little bit of both.
You're shaking your head here, Jeff. What are you thinking?
Well, no, I was just saying that like that Little Baby song, my roommate has played it 100 times to try to piss me off to make fun of Kentucky because that was
Yeah.
like the whole before that
That's
game.
what's yeah.
But I mean that song's really good. FAU might as well hit him with it back. I like it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait, what do we think about Jerome Tang? Wait, that's his name, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Jerome
yep,
Tang.
Yep.
What about him going? Do we like him going to the FAU locker room post game as the losing coach? Like that's something Coach K would do. Is like try to lecture you after you just beat his team. Do we like that?
He was very complimentary of them. So, and I just think from what I've seen of him this year, I know people are trying to argue, oh, he's just like trying to put himself in the spotlight. I think genuinely like he is a good guy and he like cares about players and like honestly was just like at awe that this FAU team beat them because I mean he's like giving them like, oh, you guys are the toughest team we played, and he's played in the toughest league all year. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree with Derek on that. That's a good question, though, Jeff. That is a good question because it definitely
I'm just
sparked.
salty trying to get the narrative going. He is a good
I
guy.
get it.
No,
It
I
does
mean-
spark some curiosity, but no, I think he was just doing it because, like, why not, dude? Like, just go out there, let them know that they played a great brand of basketball, they beat you guys, and give them some confidence. Say you're rooting for them for the rest of the way. I mean, as tough as it is to lose to a team, unless they're your rival, I would say in sports, if you lose to a team and towards the end of the playoffs, and you got a lot of mutual respect for them, I
Yeah.
feel like it's always kind of the idea you go to root for that team then to win it in a sense.
So then we'll move on here. Do you think they win it? FAU, San Diego State. Let me see if I can find a line here quick.
Yeah, pull that line up if you can.
But just
We'll
on the
ponder
money
for
line,
us.
just straight up, who do we have? Who do we have winning it here, boys?
I don't want to bet against the Cinderella story, so I'm not going to put my money where my mouth is. But I am going to be taking San Diego State in this spot, coming off a massive win against Alabama. And in just a dominant fashion. I don't think FAU has the capability like an Alabama offense did. So I think that's going to help San Diego's defense slow them down a little bit more. I'm going to ride with San Diego State on this one.
What about you, Jeff?
Same as Matt. Like if I had to give you a pick, I'd take San Diego State, but like I also had picked against FAU every round, including Memphis in the first round.
Yep.
So like I don't know. I kind of want to take the under though because San Diego State just plays the sloppiest, grittiest basketball ever.
Oh, yep.
But it works.
Mm-hmm.
So San Diego State is 2-point favorites currently as of recording. Okay. I'm freaking Owl, man, bro. I'm not going against FAU anymore.
We know you're Owl, man.
Vladislav Golden, John L. Davis, they're going to continue hooping. Yeah, I mean, it is going to, I agree with that, Jeff, that it's going to be a kind of low-scoring game, but I think they can break through, get some big buckets. I mean, FAU has the most wins out of any team in the NCAA this year. 35 wins. No one else has that many wins. They know how to win games. I think they keep winning all the way to the championship game Monday night.
Woot's riding with the Owls again.
I like
Doubling
it.
down.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
I like it.
All right, so we'll move over now to the other side of the bracket. And this is another one. Me and Matt, tough scenes. Texas was my national champion. Matt had them in the championship game. But even more notable, Miami, when they knocked off Houston, made it the first time ever that no number one seed was in the Elite Eight. So, guys, what is your big takeaway from this region? Why don't we start with Jeff this time? We'll let the guest go first.
Oh, okay. Well, on the Miami Houston game, I mean, Isaiah Wong, this absolute killer. The kid from Nigel Pack.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Like they just have two guards that are just killers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Houston. I had Houston as my champion in one of my brackets, and it was disappointing to see him go out like that. You know, I don't know. 89 points for Miami is great. Like Houston is supposed to be like a bunch of stoppers. Like that's what
Yeah.
they've done all year. So the fact that they lost by 15, scoring 75 is really surprising.
Yeah, for me, it's on that other end. It's that Texas Xavier game. A lot of people thought Xavier had a chance in this game, and I'm not saying they didn't. But if we look at their run a little bit, they played a Kennesaw State team. That was so far that was a 5-point win for them. And then we look at Pittsburgh, who blew the water out of Iowa State. I mean, that game was not even close from the first second of tip off, like we spoke last week, 22-5 or something lead. Xavier goes to play Pitt. Then I think that's a little bit of an easier second round around a 32 matchup. And then against Texas, I just didn't think they had a chance. Texas is in that, as everyone's seen on TikTok, that top 25 offense, top 40 defense. That was something Xavier just really wasn't in either of the two. So I think Texas walked away from this game pretty handily. But yeah, Derek, I do want to talk about that Miami-Texas game in Elite Eight because we were both wrong, man. That was tough.
Like Jeff mentioned, I mean, the guard play, Isaiah Wong, man, he scares me. He is so freaking good, man. He can get buckets. He plays defense. Like this Miami team, and I mean, Jim Larinaga, heck of a coach. He's the only coach here with Final Four experience. Yep. He was the head coach at George Mason when they went on that run, 2006. And I mean, yeah, this Miami team, they just play a good brand of basketball. But yeah, I mean, go for it. What do you got on Miami, Texas?
It's just Texas. They had a 12-point lead with like 7 something to go in. Maybe it was like 8, 6, 7, or 8, somewhere in there. 12-point lead in that game. You cannot throw that game away. The fact that they just let they were doing exactly what, to touch on the men's league for a second, what my men's league team does wrong. And this is exactly what Texas was doing, is they were working their butt off for 30 seconds on defense, giving up an offensive rebound. Miami gets a bucket, they're coming down, they're launching within 7 to 10 seconds. It's like some Mike D'Antoni offense with James Harden. I did not know what was going on in the last 5 minutes of that game. They didn't slow the rock down. They were launching too many bad shots. And yeah, the fashion that Miami won that game was crazy because Texas, in my eyes, was controlling the pace of that game over the first 30 minutes for sure. So it was just a sad loss to see, especially for me having like 3 of my brackets having Texas in the national championship. So that was a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the stat. It was after that inbounds play where Miami throws the ball off Timmy Allen's back and scores a layup. Mm-hmm. They outscored Texas 37-17. The Longhorns had that game won and just did not put them away. Like you said, they let them back in the game, and it was very frustrating to watch. And yeah, with a team with as much firepower as Miami does, when Wong, Pack, Norchad Omir's been hooping. He almost fouled out of the game. That's another controversial call we can talk about. They overturn it. What do you guys think there? Like, would you have kept the over the back, or would you do you think they made the right call changing it to a defensive foul?
I thought that. I mean, it's like an objectively horrible call. I feel like it was clearly over the back, and like I get that that foul would have sunk Miami more by Omier being gone. Then it ended up like Texas still could have won that game despite the foul, but still there like that. It's like a textbook over the back. I don't know if you're boxing out. What do you want him to do?
Exactly. Yeah, Jeff, I want to ask you this question. We both hooped a little bit in high school. Dude, what does your coach teach you when the ball is up in the air? You find a body and you box out.
Yeah.
So basically what this just showed me is if you're a defender and you're getting boxed out, or you're an offensive player and you're getting boxed out, just jump, bro. Just jump. Exactly. Because he is going to push you and you're going to fall over him, and that's the call that was made. I think he did a phenomenal job boxing out. He decided to jump. What does the guy that's boxing out want to do? Just walk, like move away, let him just jump and land and pick up the ball? No, you're taught to box out at a young age. That's one of the first 3 things in basketball. Find a body, box out. He did that,
Yeah.
and it was just a bad call. I was very frustrated by that. However, I don't think that would have changed too much, but I definitely think.
Oh, it fouls out Omer. It potentially changes
but
everything.
it does. It definitely.
And
I do
Texas then
definitely
goes
think
to the line instead of giving up to tie the game. Instead of giving up
Yeah.
2 free throws, go down 4.
not
Whatever
a
it
great,
was.
not a great free throw shooter. Not a great free throw shooter. He's 62% that kid. But yes, I do think it definitely changes a magnitude and a momentum swing. That gave Miami all the momentum, especially after those free throws. So tough loss for us on that one, Woo.
No,
Tough loss.
again, like I said, Texas should have put him away, so you can't complain about one thing. But like
Exactly,
the game
yeah.
should have been over by that point. But okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that.
Thank you.
I do want to say one thing though. If we're talking about that game, what about Jordan Miller? I've clearly been sleeping on him all year because he's like their third guard in my mind, and he's averaging like 15 on the year. But the dude went 7 for 7 and 13 of 13 from line for 27 points.
Yeah.
Like didn't miss a
was
single
money.
shot.
He was
insane.
money
You know what I'm
from the
saying?
free
No,
throw line.
Miami's
One
been
of the craziest stat lines I've ever seen.
yeah, Miami's been an offensive juggernaut. So it would be kind of entertaining to see if we get like a Miami San Diego State national title game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two contrasted styles. But and then we'll go down here to the final region. Definitely the dud of the Elite Eight. But congrats to Matt. He switched up on our UCLA Bruins and ended up being right with Gonzaga going all the way. But I mean, we had some classic games in this West region here in Vegas. So, Jeff, what was your big takeaway from it? Was it that Gonzaga UCLA game? Was it UConn, just kind of rolling?
The late game Gonzaga game was like obviously a much better watch, but like I don't know. I watched Arkansas beat Kansas and like they looked dead. And then they came out the next weekend against UConn and just got steamrolled. So that was really surprising. And honestly, like I know we'll talk about this later, but UConn is looking like really tough to beat right now.
Really tough to beat. Tough to beat right now. Yeah, I want to also touch on that Arkansas game there. UConn was out there smoking that Eric Musselman pack for the free. Like, come on, dude. Arkansas, you got to put up a little bit better of a fight than that. I mean, you just came off beating the best team, arguably top 2 team in the country, and you just looked flat against UConn that whole game. So that was tough. But yeah, that Gonzaga UCLA game. Oh my Lord.
Classic.
Julian Strother, come on now, 32-footer with 6 seconds left.
Literally
Who does he
almost
think he is?
like recreation of the Jalen Suggs game. Like that game was either going one of two ways of a previous UCLA Gonzaga. It was either going the Adam Morrison where they fall apart and UCLA wins it, or what it ended up being the Jalen Suggs. I mean, it wasn't a buzzer beater. UCLA did have a chance to come down, but holy cow, what like
that was
that play, I mean, it's worked so many times now. Freaking the Christian Watford shot against Kentucky back in 2010. Chris Jenkins to win the national championship against North Carolina. Yep, I'm going to take a shot at all the Blue Bloods. Don't worry. I mean, like, I feel like it's almost, you just got to know. Like, this ball's getting dropped off, and when it gets dropped off, he's not missing.
Behind the trailer.
Yeah, exactly, so.
literally the script in front of him, everything. Yeah, no, that shot, though. The huevos on that kid that pull from 32, dude, that's range. There's one person on the planet that can consistently, you're trusting making that shot, and that's Damian Lillard. But Julian Strother has made a name for himself, so what a shot, what a game.
Yeah, Gonzaga, you're right. They did they were up 10 or 8 or whatever, like a minute left, and they just UCLA somehow. The one part that was funny was the turnover when Gonzaga was trying to inbound the ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like nowhere near that. It was crazy.
I mean, that was a perfect example of basketball as a game of runs, because it looked like it was over at the half where UCLA's up 13, then all of a sudden Gonzaga takes a big lead, looks like it's over, and then they let UCLA back in the game. So, yeah, I mean, gosh, I know now UCLA's leaving the Pac-12. This is a reason why I would love to have Gonzaga basketball in the Pac-12, because these two teams, every time they play, it's just a classic, and there is a freaking rivalry now.
There already was a rivalry. I think it's just getting deeper and deeper now, though, every time these two match up.
All right, so then going back, like I said, Gonzaga, they win that game, absolute thriller, and then lay an absolute freaking egg against UConn. Like you're saying, UConn's looked the most dominant. Do we think, and also I want to touch this, UConn is the highest remaining seeded of 4. This is the first time there has not been a top 3 seed in the Final Four as well, just to put even more context on how crazy this tournament's been. So what are we thinking here? Are we going UConn or are we going Miami?
Can I? As much as you've said, oh, that might have just changed. No, I'm riding with UConn. I'm gonna stay with UConn. But I would love to see a Miami, San Diego State, like you mentioned. That's phenomenal to see. But I'm gonna ride UConn, like Jeff stated a couple minutes ago. It's looking real hard to beat this team. This team's clicking on all cylinders, and I'm gonna ride UConn here over Miami.
Yeah, I will say I think Miami actually matches up really well with
They
UConn
do.
because
That's fair. They do.
they got a guy for Sunoco,
Yep.
and then of course those three guards we talked about.
Yep.
So, but I'd probably take UConn.
Yeah.
But like I do, is there a spread on that? I'm sure there is.
5.5. UConn's favored.
Ooh.
I like the points there. Then like
Yeah, give me the points with Miami.
'cause I
For
think it'll
that,
be a good game.
yeah, but I'll take UConn to win. But betting wise, give me Miami with the points.
Agreed.
All right, I'm fading you guys again. I'm going Miami. I mean, if there's been a team that you just like can't count out in this tournament, it's Miami. Just with, like I said, Isaiah Wong's been absolutely hooping. My thing with UConn too, they haven't played a close game yet. We don't know how they will react.
That's fair.
In a close game. I mean, we saw it earlier in the year. They started undefeated, went on that run, and then towards the end, then or in the middle, then they go on that lull, and now they're fine. So now they're balling again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think when they get tested, they have a tendency where they can fold. So I'm gonna go with Miami. So moving on here from one ACC school in Miami to another ACC school's former quarterback. Lamar Jackson today, we learned, requested a trade as of March 2nd. Let me read this tweet here. Oh, I lost it. Oh, okay, here we go. In regards to my future plans, as of March 2nd, I requested a trade from the Ravens organization for which the Ravens have not been interested in meeting my value, and everyone that has met me or been around me knows I love the game of football and it's my dream to help a team. So, pretty much it sounds like Lamar Jackson is not going to be a Raven anymore. What team do you guys think he will be on this upcoming season?
I'll start, and I want to talk about this tweet that has surfaced on the internet a little bit. Nothing crazy, but just thought kind of funny. A couple cool names in here. Patriots owner Robert Kraft said Meek Mill texted him 3 or 4 days ago saying Lamar Jackson wants to come to New England. Kraft responded, that would simply be Bill Belichick's decision. I don't think Bill wants Lamar. So we're going to just scratch off the Patriots right off the rip. Funny tweet, I thought, though. But I think that as much as the Rodgers drama I've heard, I would love to see him be a New York Jet. I would absolutely love to see him be a Jet. That team has so much around him. I don't know what they'd have to give up and what reasoning, but I think watching Lamar in a New York Jet uniform would be somewhere he'd be happy to play, and the supporting pieces around him is just phenomenal right now. So I would like to see him be a New York Jet. I don't want to see Rodgers be a Jet, so that's where my heart lies.
About you, Jeff?
All right. I don't know. I think it's tough because I don't know. Like whoever he gets traded to, it's definitely going to be like contingent on will they give him the extension that he wants.
Yes.
Maybe not like the full, but like I
Yep.
think it's like he wants fully guaranteed, and that's really what the holdup's been.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like just fit wise, I think your Falcons would be a really good spot.
Okay.
Atlanta, get him with
Yeah.
Drake London, Kyle
Yep.
Pitts.
Yeah, that's some dogs over there. There's some dogs over there.
I think he'd look good there. I mean, yeah, Seattle would be like a team, but Geno just
Yeah.
they did resign Geno, but
Yep.
I don't. I know the Lions people were talking about too, but even
I heard that.
a good
All these quarterbacks have had this solid they're on the fence type of season, and then this past year it's like, okay, well, they're deserving to at least have another shot there. So that's the hard part is are you willing to trade in a sense, it to a degree, it's unless he's going to keep to that 1 or 2 year deal. But if you want that contract extension that he's asking for, teams are going to have to give up a lot to get him, and that scares me because if you're in a spot like the Lions, like you said, or the Seahawks, you're in contention right now. You're contending. And Are you going to throw away your whole future? Not saying your whole future necessarily, but for this star quarterback in Lamar, I don't know. That's the risky part about it. Derek, how about you? Where do you think he's going? Is he staying?
Like I
Where would
said,
you
we
like to
talked
see
the
him
most
go?
freaking NFC South out of any podcast. I know you said you don't want him, but I mean, you really want Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke over Lamar Jackson, Matt?
Yeah, I want a bridge QB for a year before Caleb Williams.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I don't know. I'm not going to sit here. This is no Falcons podcast. I'm not going to vent why
Yeah, I
I
know
don't
we're turning
want
into
him.
one, but
I could see how it's a good fit. I could see how it's a good fit
I'm
for
looking
Atlanta.
at
I
this.
can.
I'm looking at this, and I know it was like a meme on Pardon My Take, but the Commanders would make sense. And I
I mean,
honestly think,
Terry needs someone.
Yeah.
and I think honestly, if like
And
Snyder is to sell the team, having a player
Yeah.
like Lamar Jackson would make sense for him to acquire. So I mean, like I said, they let
Yeah.
Heineke walk right now.
Yep.
According to Google, at least, their quarterbacks are Sam Howell, Jake Fromm, and Jacoby Brissett.
Watch out for Jake Fromm. He had a stellar 2017 year in Georgia. Watch out for him. That was only 6 years ago.
So I think probably like the Commanders or see I think the Jets are dead set on Rodgers, but what I think this does do, it shifts the balance of power back in the Jets' hands. Because a little
Yes.
bit when I think the Packers like would be content, like be like, okay, you're not gonna give us what we
Yeah.
want for Rodgers, he'll just retire. I
Yep.
think the Packers would be content with that. So now I think this shifts into the Jets' hands a little bit, be like, okay, fine, we'll go get Lamar then. And this then
Yeah.
could cause the Packers to be kind of like, well, we do want to get something for Aaron. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. All right, for the graphic, I'm gonna go Commanders. Jeff, who are you going with again?
Atlanta.
Jeff's
Atlanta.
going with Atlanta. And then Matt, are you going the Jets or who are you gonna go with?
I'll take the Jets. I'll take the Jets.
All right. And honestly, watch us give these picks, and I think something will probably work out, and he stays in Baltimore. But
And he stays in Baltimore.
If
I think
he
we
is
can
to
all
move-
deep down agree. Yeah.
if he is to move, I'm gonna say it. That's what we're saying with.
Perfect.
And to wrap it up, we're going to swing over here some more drama. Honestly, this might become our new segment here about the NBA for the rest of the year. But we're going to call it Keeping Up with the NBA because the NBA has turned into a bit of a reality TV show with all this drama, kind of like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So, boys, what has been your biggest NBA drama storyline this past week that you've been keeping your eye on? We'll start with Jeff here since he's the guest.
All right. Well, I hate to take yours, but I know LeBron came back yesterday, and then after the game they were asking him how he was able to do it, or like why he didn't get surgery. And thankfully he went to the LeBron James of foot doctors. Some would even say like the Patrick Mahomes of foot doctors,
Oh, I like that.
right?
I like
Yeah,
that.
he went to like that guy. He told me he shouldn't do it, so I thought that was hilarious. Lakers have been
Yeah.
playing good ball though.
Yeah, they have.
Until he lost
Even
the
with
freaking
the,
Bulls yesterday.
No, I know, and got sunned by Pat Bev, which is crazy, but it's all right. I still think Lakers, I think are pretty safe in the plan. I know no one's safe, but I think they'll get in. And then AD is made of glass, but like this year when he's playing, he's been what he's advertised as, the top three big in the league. You get
Yeah.
that. Now you got D'Lo, Malik Beasley, Austin Reeves has been playing great.
Hooping, yeah.
Yeah.
To touch on that though, that's the only thing that scares me. Is as much as I do think, as we were talking a little bit pre-recording, Jeff, that this Lakers team is a little questionable. However, if they make that run, I think they can make it. I definitely think they can. It's just I really think it all falls on Anthony Davis's play. As sad as that is to say, it does. He's
I
made of
agree.
glass, like you said, and playing. I would argue if he played this way throughout the whole year and didn't get injured, he's playing an MVP caliber of basketball lately. And he's been carrying that Lakers teams to a lot of wins. Sadly, sat out in that Rockets game, which was crazy. But it's just, and that's a whole nother thing with the minutes restriction and all that. But
Yeah.
I do think that Lakers can make a noise. But yeah, that LeBron of the foot doctor, that was definitely something funny.
Yeah.
I
For
need that
me,
foot
I'm gonna
doctor.
go to.
I've been out for 3 months with my foot. I need that foot doctor.
Yeah, can we get the digits sent to Woot, please?
Yeah,
Thanks,
please.
LeBron. Appreciate it. Me, I'm gonna go to Brooklyn Nets, a franchise. Hey, you can still talk about it. I'm not gonna say too much.
All
It's
right,
just
I have a
Ben
fun
Simmons.
stat with them, but yeah, go on.
okay. Ben Simmons just being shut down for the year. It seems like yet again. I don't understand what that franchise is doing, man. With all the way looking back to what was that 2015, 16 when they got KG and Paul Pierce and that whole old team.
No, it was even before then.
And
That's
then
like 13.
It was like 13, 14, yeah. And then nowadays you're looking at a 3 seed in the East. Not much out of contention of a 1 or a 2 seed with KD and LeBron or KD and Kyrie, and then you move on from both of them. Send one to Phoenix, one to Dallas. You get Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, McCall Bridges, and some picks. And then Ben Simmons is out, and I feel so bad to be a Brooklyn Nets fan. Like, if you're a fan of the Brooklyn Nets, I'm sorry for you. I feel so bad. They are just blowing up inside out, and it's just so sad to see. And after seeing Ben Simmons get shut down, it's just like, all right, well, even if they're still in the race, but even if they had a chance of contention, I think everything is starting to slip away. So I love McCall Bridges. I love me some McCall Bridges. But if you're going to say he's the best team on a team that's going to get out of the first round, it's not happening.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my fun stat was Mikal Bridges, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Cam Johnson have already played more games together on the Nets than James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie ever did. And that is post-trade deadline as opposed to a year and a half. Yeah, I mean, Ben Simmons, I forget what the stat was with Ben Simmons with his games played. I think Mikal Bridges already played more games with the Nets than Ben Simmons has.
Simmons has.
For sure.
Yeah.
So,
I know Ben Simmons was cooked when he was getting ruled ineligible for games at LSU because he had a 1.3 GPA. Come on.
That is true. That is true.
I feel like I do remember hearing about that at LSU. There was concern, or maybe I'm getting confused with Anthony Edwards, but I think Ben Simmons too, concerns about winning. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't make the tournament. He was really apathetic and is that the word? When you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I always thought he was a bum. I also was mad because he was Kentucky once, but I just never really bought into the Ben Simmons.
Yeah, no, neither did I. It's sad to see though the waste of talent. He's got the size to be arguably a top 5 defender in the league over the course of the last 5 years. He has the size to be a great ball hand, a great floor general. Look at Magic Johnson. Look at LeBron. He's got the talent. It's just, does he want to put his mind to it? No. The answer is no at this point. And it will never be a maybe. Can he fix this? Can he get a jumper? No. He just doesn't care to work hard enough to want to win and want to be put in a position to succeed. I think he's just kind of on that mindset of, I'm getting paid to play in the league. All right, cool. Just that simple. It's sad to see, though, too. A waste of talent, man. It's a waste of talent.
And then my other one jumping over here, Kyrie and Ben Simmons, were they traded for each other? Why am I blanking on this all of a sudden?
Ben Simmons and Kyrie?
No, I'm stupid. That was Kyrie and James Harden. Or not, Ben Simmons and James Harden.
Yes.
Kyrie Irving has record time, is already causing trouble with the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic has said, quote, "I'm no longer having fun." Wow, I wonder what has changed. He has a certain new teammate that seems to cause problems everywhere he goes. What a surprise. Also, granted, it was a horrible call, that thing with the inbound with the Warriors giving it to the wrong team. That was comical.
Oh, yeah.
But then Luka hits it with the money sign saying the game is rigged.
I know.
In a league where they've had former refs say games are rigged. So the Mavericks themselves are, if the playoffs start today, after losing to the Charlotte Hornets twice, the Dallas Mavericks would find themselves outside of the playoffs after trading for Kyrie Irving. Do you guys think it's Kyrie? Do you think it's what do you guys think's going on here?
No, it's all Dorian Finney-Smith, dude. That's why Lucas said he wasn't happy. It's because he lost Dorian Finney-Smith, dude. No, dude, it's because of Kyrie Irving, dude. He is the most. I'm a big Kyrie hater, everybody out there. They should know that. I do not like Kyrie Irving. But he is the most translucent basketball player we've seen since maybe AI some would argue. His talent and production is out the roof when he is giving you everything he has. It's the baggage that comes with him anywhere he goes, whether it's the sitting out, the Instagram lives, the all these things together. The baggage off the court is not worth it for any franchise, and it is showing right now. They won their first 2 games that they played together. Since then, they've been on a tremendous downfall. They're clashing heads. That was not the piece to go get Luka. I'm sorry, as a Luka fan that I am, the piece was to go get him an elite 3-and-D wing player or maybe a dominant post big man. Not another guard that's going to take the balls out of Luka's hands. And after seeing 12 games, I've had enough. It's sad to see. It's Kyrie. He's the problem, Derek. He's the problem.
All right, now just to wrap up this segment, this discussion here. As of recording, so right now, Minnesota is in 7th, New Orleans is in 8th, the Lakers are in 9th, OKC's 10th, and Dallas is 11th. Of those 5, is it Dallas that's going to miss the playoffs, or who overall do you guys think it will be?
I'd have to look at the what like each team's got
Remaining
honestly.
schedule. I'm not afraid to put the Pelicans out of there, though. They have these weird games of Brandon Ingram 40 bomb and then Brandon Ingram 13 bomb on 3 of 19 shooting. The Pelicans give me a lot of question marks, but just looking at the standings and the way that you listed them, Derek, I think I have to go the Thunder as much as I love them. I think I'd have to go the Thunder falls out just because of the overall Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Come on, you're not going to find a way to make the playoffs. But I would not be shocked if Dallas didn't make it. I would not be shocked at all. But I'm going to lock in my answer. I'm going to say the Oklahoma City Thunder falls out of that 10 spot and doesn't make it. Jeff, just without looking at standings, just kind of an idea.
I got them pulled up right here, honestly. And
Okay.
the Mavs are a game behind of OKC for 10. But like everyone like from the Pelicans down is within a game and a half. Yeah. Every other team is within a game and a half from like 8 to 11. So I don't know. I really hope it's not OKC. I want SGA and the young guys to get
same. I do want to see them get some experience.
But like most likely it's them because they're only a game. I don't know though.
It's tough.
Zion's not going to be back for the regular season, right?
No,
like they said he could come back for playoffs, but not regular season.
Yeah, done for the season. Regular.
The T-Wolves are only a game safe too, but Ant-Man and Cat coming back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Mavericks just because
That's fair. That's fair.
But
Derek?
I want to be bold to be the one who said Mavericks. I'm probably thinking either the Thunder, as much as I too would love to see Shy in the play-in. I guess I might be a little biased. I just think out of like all those teams, I'm taking the Lakers. And honestly, if the Lakers can find themselves matched up with the Grizzlies in the first round, conversation we had probably like a month ago now, I'm taking the Lakers over the Grizzlies.
Yeah, so am I.
So I'd say the Lakers are like the most for sure in. However, again, they could lose the Bulls back-to-back on Wednesday and be out again. Like I said, keeping up with the NBA, there's crazy stuff going on all the time. But I guess for now, for the sake of the graphic, I will then just play it safe and also go with the Thunder. So it's going to wrap it up for today's episode. Thank you so much to Jeff for joining us.
Yeah.
Yes, appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you.
Appreciate you boys having me on.
If you guys want Jeff to come back, let us know in the comments. If you think Jeff was absolutely horrible, let us know in the comments. If you think Matt should be booted off the show for Jeff full time, let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know whatever you want in the comments. We dropped all sorts of predictions today. We'd love to hear from you guys. We still riding with Owlman. Shout out my dad for commenting that last video. But Matt, what else you got for the people?
Hit the like button. Hit the follow button or subscribe button if you may, please. Also on Twitter at Board Podcast. Just reach out on the socials. Maybe drop a comment if you want, like we stated 10 seconds ago. Oh, and please don't forget to turn on the notification bell. That helps you guys know when we post, so you guys can click on the video. So, other than that, that's all I got, Derek. Excited for a little bit of weekend of Final Four. My birthday's on Wednesday. Pod will be out by tomorrow. If you want to drop a little, happy birthday, feel free.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, we will see everybody next time then. Peace.